Hey, yo, what up, though, fellas? Back at it again with another video. Because, we improving every day. Mental stimulation. Being able to mentally stimulate a woman. Being able to get her wet, but between her ears, her brain, her mind. Being able to get her to have moments of introspection. Being able to have her have moments where she looks at herself from the inside out. Being able to make statements, teach her something, or ask her questions about something she's interested in. Grind those gears in her head. That is a huge component in raising a woman's interest or maintaining a woman's interest in you. You feel me? We talk a lot about body game. I'm a huge proponent of the body game. Shout out Ron Wheels, getting in the gym, eating right, looking good physically, and also having your wardrobe together that complements you, having your colognes together that complement you, your grooming and hygiene that complements you. Body language. We talk all about the physical aspects. Those are the superficial things, which are still important, don't get me wrong. But we don't talk about the deep aspects often enough. And when they do get talked about, they don't get a lot of attention. I know I've done numerous videos on intellectual charisma, having knowledge bases. They don't get a lot of views because it's not the easy work. It's not the work that you can see. It's all in your head. But what's in your head is what's going to get that woman stimulated in her head and between her legs at the same time. If you've ever heard what a sapiosexual is, it's a woman who is sexually attracted to intelligence or knowledge or wisdom. A lot of women are sapiosexuals. In my opinion, I don't really know why that's a word, because every woman I've come across has been somewhat attracted to a man with some kind of knowledge base. It doesn't necessarily matter what it is. It doesn't necessarily matter if it's something that she's interested in. Women are attracted to men who have knowledge, who have wisdom, who have value that they can give that isn't something that you can just put on or wear on your feet or put on your head like a hat or put on your body like a coat. No, women very much value information that a man can give them that can put them forward in life. Little tidbits of information that can push them forward in certain situations or circumstances. Give them hustles about finance, about history, about health, whatever it is. Women love that because it's mentally stimulating. Another component of mental stimulation is being able to listen and ask her questions. A lot of guys don't know how to listen. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys don't know how to listen. I grew up primarily with my moms, and she talks a lot. So over time, I learned how to listen. Best believe I learned how to listen eventually. And that's a skill that I have that really helps me not only conversing with women, but people in general. But we're talking about conversing with women right now. When you know how to actively listen, excuse me, you're not just hearing what she says, you're actively listening. So when she's talking, you're making mental notes. You're trying to read between the lines. You're paying attention to the words that are coming out of her mouth so that you can generate questions and talking points. That is very important when it comes to conversing with women. You cannot have small talk forever. You can't introduce yourself for 30 minutes. You can't have small talk for 4 hours. That's not how it works. Having really good conversations with chicks, the best conversations I have when we meet up at a Starbucks and then we done talked all the way up until the Starbucks closed, and then we migrate to a different spot, or we hopping in the car, we walking around, the downtown area, whatever. It's when we're having good conversation. It's when I'm asking her questions because I have her deep diving and surfing through her own mind. Not only about things that she likes to talk about, but things she may not have talked about before in depth. Talking about herself, her own story, her own past. who she is, how she is, what and why. Who she is as a woman. You know what I'm saying? Because with women, a lot of times they usually aren't asked who they are. You know, a lot of their value is in their looks. And a lot of times their looks are overly valued to where it overshines who they are inside their head. You'll be surprised, bro. A lot of women you come across have a lot to say, a lot of quality information to say, or just they have a lot to their story that they've never shared and they would love to share it, you know, to somebody who will listen. And I'm not saying be, you know, what guys like to call an emotional tampon. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying be able to get her brain wet. Her brain and her vagina work in tandem. They really do. Her brain and her vagina work in tandem. Because having knowledge, having wisdom, or even just being educated, it shows signs of discipline and studiousness in a man. Especially if you a nerd like me. And when I say a nerd, I mean a guy who has a drive to learn. You're driven by learning and expanding your education, not just in school, but your self-education in whatever you want to educate yourself in. I spend a lot of time reading books, reading research articles, peer reviews, data, watching documentaries or taking notes on YouTube videos on health and fitness, physiology, exercise science, psychology, you know, developmental psychology in kids and things like that, gender psychology, Black history, various different subjects. I'm a word nerd. I love reading the dictionary. I spend a lot of time building my knowledge. I'm not building my knowledge so I can talk to women. I'm building my knowledge because I'm a nerd and I have a drive to learn. But being a nerd has translated very positively to my interactions with women. Very positively. Because having intellectual charisma, which I did a video on that got very low views, having intellectual charisma, when you can apply charisma to your intellectuality, when you can talk about something with so much enthusiasm and so much energy that it influences and encourages her to want to figure out what you're talking about and learn more of what you're talking about on her own time. You know what I'm saying? When you can talk about something and make it sound so interesting and sound important, and she's saying, damn, I've been missing out on this. I need to, you know, when I go home, I'm going to Google some of the stuff that he was saying. I'm going to Google some of the stuff he was talking about because it seemed so interesting. He seemed like he was on a whole different playing field because he knew this and knew that. Maybe I should try and figure this out, or maybe when we meet again, I'm going to talk about it more. I want to know a little bit more so I can ask him some more questions. You know, women do these things, bro. A lot of guys think that women don't listen. They just like to talk. That's only true if they don't really care about what's coming out your mouth. Because, you know, if women don't really care about what you have to say, I mean, they'll still talk your ear off if they want to. If you'll sit there and be there to hear it. Yeah, they'll talk your ear off sometimes, even if they don't care about what you have to say. But when you have important things to say, when you have value, when you have knowledge or any wisdom that you can share that can be of value to her, or even just open her horizon, that's enough to do it right there, bro. So I'm not going to drag this video on, man. That's the topic for the day, dog. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Peace.